We turn to Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. And Judge, maybe we put you in the category of those who don't totally believe the story on the Penn Register?
I don't believe the story on the Penn Register. On a day in which the president's chief lawyer just threw a bombshell into many of the president's defenses, do you really think the Justice Department is going to admit that they listened to phone calls from the president? They may not have recorded, but I assure you they were listening. If they were listening, they can't use anything they hear as a basis for an affidavit of probable cause or in a prosecution, but it can send them seeking other means to obtain evidence to support that.
Yeah, basically called parallel reconstruction. You find something you weren't supposed to have access to, so you find a different way to get access to it.
A different and lawful way to get access to it so that you can present it to a court. When Michael Cohen asked that the documents seized by the FBI be returned, the government said there's no privilege here because of the crime fraud exception. That means they had enough information from those phone calls to suggest that Michael Cohen or his client were participating in a crime or a fraud and were masking the phone calls as attorney-client privilege, and they weren't.
Okay, let's talk through now the potential legal ramifications of what Rudy Giuliani revealed last night. He says he's discussed it with the president. Here's what the president tweeted out today. We'll walk through this. Mr. Cohen, that's his attorney, an attorney received a monthly retainer not from the campaign and having nothing to do with the campaign, from which he entered into through reimbursement a private contract between two parties known as a non-disclosure or NDA. These agreements are very common among celebrities and people of wealth. In this case, it is in full force and effect and will be used in arbitration for damages against Ms. Clifford Daniels. The agreement was used to stop the false and extortionist accusations made by her about an affair, despite already having signed a detailed letter admitting there was no affair. Prior to its violation by Ms. Clifford and her attorney, this was a private agreement. Money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction. So now we get to the question of how this money was allegedly repaid to Michael Cohen. Is there a potential for a fraud charge in there?
There is a potential for a fraud charge here because one of the reasons that President Trump was able to say he knew nothing about the agreement is his name doesn't appear in there, and he didn't sign it. Michael Cohen and Ms. Daniels' then lawyer, not her current lawyer, used a pseudonym, David Dennison, in place of Donald Trump. So the question is it even a valid agreement since the person who it purportedly binds, the president, didn't actually sign it? The president is correct when he says that non-disclosure agreements are common with respect to celebrities. A lot of celebrities compel everybody that works for them to sign non-disclosure agreements because they may see something that they don't want disclosed. But it would be a violation of legal ethics if Michael Cohen paid a settlement in a case out of the retainer, which was intended for his own fees and his own expenses. It's also, to me, inconceivable that Donald Trump, who was notoriously aware of where every dollar he has is going, was not aware that $130,000 was going to Stormy Daniels.
Well, conceivable as he has said here, it appears, and what Rudy Giuliani said too. Listen, wealthy, busy people don't always know what's being fixed or taken care of on their behalf. They've authorized someone to do it. They just do it. They don't have to get involved with the details.
That may very well be the case, and there may have been a method to Rudy Giuliani's mentioning this last night. Knowing Rudy's mind, as I think I do, I've known him for 25 years, he likes to focus on discrete legal issues. So he wanted to take the Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen issue off the table. I don't know if he succeeded by what he said last night, because I don't know that the White House and the president, and certainly Mr. Cohen, were prepared for this. Remember, he's not Michael Cohen's lawyer. Cohen today seemed stunned by what he heard last night, but this is off the plate, it appears, in the Mueller investigation or the Southern District investigation with respect to the president.
Quickly, Stormy Daniels' attorney currently, Michael Avenatti, who doesn't miss a chance to weigh in on the case, said he believes that Cohen will be indicted on several serious criminal charges, and he's continuing to predict. He says the president doesn't make it through his first term because of legal issues.
Well, I don't know about the president not making it through his first term. It depends on what Bob Mueller comes up with. I happen to think that the Mueller investigation is a very serious one, and they have accumulated a lot of evidence that Rudy Giuliani and the president don't want to confront. And I don't know where Michael Cohen gets this, Michael Avenatti gets this from, except that the Los Angeles Federal District Court judge, before whom the Stormy Daniels versus Donald Trump case is assigned, stayed the case for 90 days, quote, until Michael Cohen is indicted. I don't know if he knows something that the rest of us don't know, or this is just a neutral judicial mind looking at the facts saying there's going to be an indictment here.
With that discussion of Cohen taking the fifth as well. All right, Judge, always great to see you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.